Millions of Americans fought in the Vietnam War 50 years ago. The war effectively ended with the fall of Saigon as the communist offensive overran the city on April 30th, 1975. It was a hectic, chaotic, and dangerous time as American troops scrambled to get so many people there out of the country safely. Well, that included a mass evacuation of thousands of Vietnamese orphan babies to the United States in those last days in what's now become known as Operation Baby Lift. One of those orphans that made it out alive to America now lives and thrives in Gaston County. Queen City News anchor Brian Blakely has the story.
Family, faith, and connecting to his roots of a war-torn world where he was born are what's most important to Jason Kaiser.
It's a natural affinity that I have for the culture, the people.
He lives a fulfilling double life, running a successful computer business outside Charlotte, North Carolina, and a bustling coffee shop in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. But it wasn't always that way.
I didn't really want to care about Vietnam and my heritage. I think a lot of orphans, they feel like the stories in their mind that they create are better than the stories that they may find out.
One story Jason heard often was that of the C-5 crash carrying hundreds of Vietnamese babies.
You know, when I was told the story, I was like, well, how does that apply to me?
And then came a stunning revelation. He was supposed to be on that very plane.
Sister Mary Nell, the nun who took care of me, she said, well, you and 3 other children were actually taken off that airplane before it ever took off. And I was like, wow, how'd that happen? She goes, well, in your case, you had severe dysentery. And so we needed to take you off the plane because you would not have made the flight out of the country.
Saved by fate, Kaiser was put on another transport the following week. Headed for the U.S. with him, only some medical records.
E4 is the plane seat that I had, so they knew that, you know, I was that guy with this set of documents.
Jason was adopted by a family in San Francisco. He grew up with a brother and sister.
They always raised me as a Christian, and I always knew that my life had some meaning to it.
But as time went on, Jason began to question who he was and where he came from.
You know, thoughts of suicide. And I've talked to a lot of other orphans, not just from Vietnam, over the years, and it is this sort of somewhat survivor syndrome. Why did I survive and not everybody else?
But he got through it, leaving those questions in the past until the birth of his son Adam and the start of his own family.
And I helped give birth to him, which was a really cool experience too. But when Adam came out, I kind of thought to myself, hey, this is the first biological connection I have in this world that I know of, right? Yeah, it really did change me.
Jason immersed himself into unlocking the secrets of his past, traveling as often as he could to Vietnam, visiting the orphanage where he was left so many years ago.
If someone came in and dropped you off and they knew your name, we would write it down and tape it in here. So at that point, I knew my real name, Yui Ye Khan.
He learned the communists destroyed most of the records during the fall of Saigon, but his journey led him to his true calling in life, helping other orphans.
Right now we have programs in Ukraine and then Uganda, Africa. And then we're able to work with the missions and the orphanages in those countries and try to give a better future for some of these orphans that wouldn't maybe not be able to be adopted or get out of the country.
A meaningful, purposeful life that has come full circle for Jason Kaiser.
Yeah, I think it's important to make sure the story gets logged for a couple reasons. One is so my children understand who they are, where half of them came from, and to make sure all these like miraculous stories live on, right?